Hark the herald shapers sing. Welcome to yet another glorious cast brought to you by Netrunners.co.uk. Once more taken from our November tournament at the Gloucester Games Bunker, the Death Association building, held in November 2014. Myself there on the right, sporting a rather lovely Chronos Tour making news card, and Dan, once more from Cheltenham there on the left, is playing Kate, and I think I'm pretty sure playing a prepaid Kate. Again, for those of you that aren't aware, we do have a glorious website, funnily enough, also at Netrunners.co.uk, where you can find a whole host, a plethora of things for you to enjoy, including articles, as well as a forum. If you guys are watching from the UK and you haven't gone onto our site yet, please do so. We have lots and lots of things for you to discover and find out. Also, if you're interested in hosting a forum yourself for your local community and meta, please do get in contact with me. That's chimpster@netrunners.co.uk, and we'd be more than happy to get something sorted for you. And click one, we're going to start off with a little bit of a hedge fund. Oh yes, we're going to install and we're going to ice up R&D and pass the turn. So this deck, in a nutshell, is all about the tags. It wants to tag, and it wants to really increase the suffering upon the runner. The way in which it does this is through some rather glorious new cards, such as the rather masterful Manhunt, Information Overload, and Universal Connectivity Fee, all in the new cycle, which are absolutely splendid in every possible way. We're going to see a Lucky Find go down. I think that's a plastic. No, sorry, it's a prepaid voice pad that has just been played. So we've got a prepaid and a Lucky Find. We're going to play a Jackson Howard, also resing a pad campaign, a card that's seeing increased use with the rather glorious return of NEH. Oh, marvellous. So there we have the Manhunt, which always warrants a second look. For those of you that aren't aware, it's a trace 2 after the first successful run each turn, and if it's successful, gain a tag. And obviously with making news, that'll become trace 4, and you better believe it. It's a glorious tax on the runner. My experience with this deck is that if you see it early, you win, because it just becomes a hideous prospect for the runner to have to deal with. He's going to play a Plasticrete down though, which makes perfect sense given this deck is running through Scorched, so he is prepped and ready. It also looks like he has played, I think it's that stupid glare, it's awful. I think that's another prepaid? Not sure, pass. But I'm going to draw it with Jackson Howard, irrespective. This deck is running a little bit of mid-seasons goodness as well. I'm going to put another ice on HQ. It looks like I do have a mid-seasons in hand, and I'm going to store up another asset. Again, those assets become that much more problematic with a Manhunt on the board. Obviously, he has to steal an agenda to get rid of it, or play a current of his own, and heavens knows that no one is doing that currently in runners. Thankfully, the Corp ones are by far and away much stronger. Although the Plasticrete is going to hurt, there's no doubt about it. Am I going to res the ice? I am. It's a Data Raven. Yeah, that's not a lot of fun for anyone concerned. Data Raven is just end the run, and as he does, and he'd be right to do so. Run successful. I think I forgot to do the Tracy goodness here, but I am going to do that now. So there we go, Trace 4. It should happen before access, just to make it clear. So if you install a cheeky remote somewhere, it is worth doing. He's going to take the tag, and at Trace 4, even with a link, which he is Kate here, so he has a link. Even with a link, it's almost just not worth trying to beat the Trace. That's why it works so well in making news. It's a fun deck, and I've got another Manhunt there in hand by the looks of it, so even if he does score and steal an agenda, you better believe Manhunt's coming back on the board. So I gain 1 for pad campaign, take my mandatory draw, and overall I'm always feeling happy. Always, I think that might be a professional contacts he's got down. I'm going to double ice up HQ, and I'm going to take some money, pass the turn. This deck is all about, I think you've got to be patient against this deck. If you're too aggressive, you will lose, and it will really hurt. Successful runners, for instance, Dave Hoyland is very successful against this deck. It's been helping me test it. He himself agrees, if you try and go tag me in this deck, you'll lose. If you just wait patiently and try and deny the remotes, try and deny any scoring opportunities, it can be very successful, and you can just basically deny me any scoring opportunities. That's the bottom line. Manhunt really does create a horrible situation where you can't run successfully particularly well unless you're willing to pay a fortune in doing so. This deck is also running, I'm not sure if it's running psychographics or not. I think this version is. I honestly can't remember, to be honest, whether this runs running psychographics or not, but I think it is. It's also running market research in lieu of AstraScript, which I know is a blasphemous thing to say, I would suggest, but this is in fact a deck without Sansan and without AstraScript, as far as I can recall. Well, actually, this one might be running AstraScript, but not Beal. Ooh, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. I can't quite remember. My new version of it wasn't running AstraScript and it wasn't running Sansan. It was just literally running all the tags and the ability to score out big agendas with tags. So market research and Project Beal and so forth. Very sort of typical Psycho Beal kind of setup. I can't quite remember what version this is. Looks like he's gone for 2 tags, which is 3 tags. Wow, so he's running through the Data Raven, sees a wraparound, and I can tell you right now, well, that's why he's doing it. So he puts down the second Plascrete, and he thinks he's safe. This deck has plenty of ways of punishing multiple tags, though, beyond Scorched. You may think you're safe. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not safe. You are definitely not safe. So I'm going to ice up R&D, probably with the wraparound you just saw. And I'm going to pass the turn, taking some money. I often find myself clicking for credits quite a lot with this deck. It's not flush with economy. There are pad campaigns, sweeps and hedge funds, as well as the pop-up windows, but that really is about it. So it's a very slow-moving deck, but I've had a lot of success with it. And I'm certainly hopeful in this environment that it will continue to be successful. So he's going to run the Jackson, and I'm going to let him trash it, because I've got no interest in drawing up at this stage. I'm in a good position here. And I'm going to double ice at that moment. And I think I've got a breaking news there, which isn't going to do a great deal of good. It's the same old thing, sorry, he's got on the board there, not a professional contact. Stupid glare. So, it's the same old thing. Then I'm going to install, so that's probably the market research, and looking to sneak out a cheeky 3-pointer here. That's right, this version was running market research and NAPD, so the idea is that it fakes out the NAPD, but actually I'm just scoring a 3-pointer. Beautiful. And then the times you think I'm scoring a 3-pointer, it's an NAPD. I remember now. I remember, ladies and gentlemen, what this deck is trying to do. Again, there are some fantastic cards. I think I may have got my timing window a little bit wrong on this one. Basically, he's running R&D. I think I popped the extra tag before I probably could have. But irrespective, that is an information overload. He has no Sentry Breaker, and it's not a trashy program job. It is a board wipe job. So he is on 5 tags, and he loses all 5 cards. And there's nothing he can do about it. So that's suddenly Scorched is back in play. That's all his Plascrete's gone, and his prepaid voice pads, the whole shebang, and he is in all kinds of trouble here. And you know, you can look at that card and you can think, oh, there's not much I can do about it. Obviously, there's an encounter trace as well to give another tag. He loses all his cards. And yeah, at this point, there's really no need to worry about going through the Data Raven. So I get another counter for it. He runs and scores an AstraScript. Again, the Manhunt triggers before access. So again, I've done this in slightly the wrong order, but I'm just clarifying it now. Every tag counts, so I'm always going to trigger it. The Manhunt then goes away because he scored the agenda, which was the AstraScript. It's just clarifying what version of this deck I'm running, because it has gone through a fair few iterations. And he is now sat on 8 tags, and is in a whole world of pain. I've got another Manhunt ready to go, if required, but at this point, with 8 tags, and no cards on the board, I don't really feel like it's necessary. Certainly R&D now is as bad as sealed off as it possibly can be, and barring any paper-tripping miracles, he's got all kinds of problems. He's only on 2 points, so that's fine. Looks like he's going to go again on R&D. I'm going to get another counter from Data Raven. Access is no joy. And I think at this stage, Dan is thoroughly exasperated. I think he even may have seen the information overload out of R&D before it triggered. So he's a little bit despondent that he hit it in the face and did a board wipe. understandably so. Again, it's one of these cards that hasn't really seen a huge amount of play outside of making news, and all the pieces have kind of come together in this cycle, like I say, with Manhunt and Information Connectivity Fee, which again I maintain is an absolutely brilliant card that can open up huge gaping scoring windows. Putting it behind something like a Data Raven is exceptionally good, and then scoring at NAPD behind it. Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I even love putting it in front of a pop-up window and just loving the fact that it ends the run. Anyway, scoring a market research for 3 points. R&D is wide open effectively because he can, and again it depends if he wants to build his board position up at this stage. He's going to make his eye, so again he's just kind of saying, I'm not going to bother installing any cards, I'm just going to try and get lucky off the top deck, which makes sense. You know, in that kind of regard, he's going to take a lot of tags, he's going to see 3 cards, and the chance of him scoring what he needs here pretty slim. He will see an NEPD, which he'll steal, taking him to 4 points. All I need to do now is put down like a wraparound or something on top of the information overload, and I'd say he's probably done. Just building up the momentum to be able to go and do that. You can kind of see from his own mannerisms and body language that he's kind of feeling this is probably a lost cause already. And though I do have the 3-pointer, obviously Flatline is very much on the cards here. 2 Scorches is all I need. I've got 1 in hand, as you can see, and it'll be game at that point. Excuse me. So I will. He's going to run HQ, which makes perfect sense. No res, no rares. Got no money. I've only on 1 credit. He will see the Scorched Earth. He knows it's there. It's the kind of moment you wish you had an imp to get rid of. But no such luck. And again, it's kind of, you just got to leave R&D here, and I think build at your board position, and try and take the agendas you need out of HQ. And deny the remote. I'm only on 3 points, I've still got to score 2 more agendas at the very least. And I just think, yeah, you've got to be careful here, not, I think, to be too defeatist. I mean, yes, R&D is probably off limits now, but there are still plenty of other avenues of attack. Ditching the Opus, probably doesn't have time for that, and I don't disagree, but it's good economy when you've got tags. I've got to close the counts there in hand as well. So I can open up a huge scoring window, even if he does take money. I'm just going to dump all the tags on him before trashing the Data Raven, because why not? And I'm going to install that wraparound now on R&D to stop him from top decking anything important. And I'm going to take some money, I would imagine, and pass the turn over. So again, it's just a case of waiting there. As long as I can keep R&D locked down, I'd imagine he's going to struggle here. So there is the wraparound, as expected. And now he has to install something. He knows as soon as he installs it, he's going to lose it straight away after with the information overload behind it. So he can get an access on R&D, hopefully with a Maker's Eye or something. And that's about it, really. That's all he can do. Going to install an SMC. But starting from scratch, with that kind of quantity of tags around you, there's not a lot he can do. And I dare say this game was probably done as soon as that information overload was hit. I'm going to sweep Sweek. Excuse me, taking me back up to a decent amount of money. I'm going to res Jackson and use him. And I'm just looking for the Scorches, I think, at this point, and finishing it off quickly. There we are, got double Scorch now. I just need to wait, get some money, and I'm done. You know, again, I could have easily probably scored out here as well. I'm going to take a credit and ditch some cards. I'm already on 7 credits, so I've got enough for the double Scorch. And unless he's got a third Plascrete in his deck, that's all she wrote, unfortunately. So he has to score 5 points of agendas here. 5 points? No, not quite. 3 points of agendas to win the game here, or he's done. And it's just a question of where he's going to get it. I think, you know, I don't think I even have an A in hand, so it's all about finding him in R&D. He's only going to get one shot in R&D. If he doesn't have multi-access, he's not going to get him. He's not going to win. He's going to take some money. Okay, again, having seen that I've already got one Scorched Earth, he probably knows there's very little time here to be able to do what he needs. Like I say, beyond a Hail Mary run. Alright, he's going to parasite the wraparound. I don't know. I guess it's... At this point he knows he's lost, and you know, yes, it's still at 7 strength and whatever, but maybe he can go and find a barrier breaker, blow it up instantly, something of that ilk. I don't think it really matters now at this stage. He's going to play a clone ship. And he's going to take a credit, at which point there will be double Scorchy, and that will be all she wrote. So, Making News does its thing. Despite 2 Plascrits being installed during the game, it was still able to double Scorch for the win. Go figure. It's a dangerous deck, and it's one that you have to treat the key pieces of ice with respect. Data Raven, Information Overload, and Universal Connectivity Fee. Hopefully we'll see some more fun and games with this deck as the tournament progresses. Overall, I was quite happy with how it did, and hopefully you'll be too. In the meantime, join us for round 2, coming up shortly, and as I already said before at the beginning of the video, please do feel free to visit us over at Netrunners.co.uk for more articles, forums, and just generally me as well, which, is a good thing. Thank you for watching, folks, and we'll see you again soon.